podcast, the Guru League edition of the Power Rankings by Armando. This is the halftime show for everybody in the league so they can get on and see where they are at in Armando's list. So Armando, how you doing, bro?
Good, man. Excited to have football back for sure. Just watching here the last couple seconds is another fight. Here we go. Anyway, another scrum. But yeah, man, doing good, bro. Happy to have football back for sure.
All right, I'm about to copy this and send it out to the league. Let's see what's up. And we are on. Perfect. So, man, where do you want to start, Armando? Do you want to start at the bottom of the barrel or you want to start at the tippy top of this league?
Yeah, I think the right way to do it is to build it up. So let's start from the bottom.
All righty. So, at number 12, who do you have at the bottom of the barrel, the new churri of the league?
Man, for me, you know what? I got to say that it is none other than Steven.
Steven. Wow.
Yes. I know that we've been talking about KMA and we've been poking fun at him, for being on the road to being the clown. But when I look at Steven's team, so I just pull it up here. I feel like his team has a lot of like question marks as you go down the roster. With Brees Hall, we don't know what the timeshare is going to be there. Trayvon Henderson, he looks like a really good rookie, but we don't know what his role is going to be. JSN, new quarterback, new offensive scheme. T-Mac, it's one of the rookies, was going to do well this year from the rookie class, that projects high. But, we got to see it. We just don't know. And then same thing with Colston Loveland. And then Jerry Jeudy, another question mark. I know he had a great year last year, but we don't know what Joe Flacco we're going to get, if we're going to get the one from the Browns the year before or from last year when he was in Indianapolis. I'm not really paying too much to the benches because, our league was so different in the draft that I think everybody's benches are there's some better ones, but overall I feel like they're pretty equal. There's just a lot of, dart throws that we're trying to do. I know he's got Rashee Rice, but I don't know, is he going to be able to use him in time? If he starts off 1-3 with his record, does he trade him away? And I have actually a question for you when it comes to my biggest question mark on his roster, because I remember he drafted Patrick Mahomes pretty high.
Yes, very high.
Yeah. Steven's come on record multiple times and has said that Xavier Worthy is a bum. He's no good. That, he's not going to be anybody. So my question is that why would you pick Patrick Mahomes so high if this is how you feel? Xavier Worthy's a bum. There's no Rashee Rice. Travis Kelce is on the downtrend of his career. People have, harsher opinions than that, and who's behind that? Maybe Isaiah Pacheco. So my question is that why are you picking Patrick Mahomes if you think Xavier Worthy is going to be so bad? How does Patrick Mahomes win?
Especially early in the season.
That was my biggest question, because he said that so many times that I don't see the correlation.
Oh, yeah. The only thing I can say when it comes to that is we have to wait and see. Obviously, the cat is out of the bag with Xavier Worthy. We know what he can do because he did it towards the end of the season. So is he going to continue that streak, or is there going to be some regression? I don't think there's going to be a regression. He hasn't had any major setbacks in camp. Obviously, we know Rashee Rice is going to be gone for 6 weeks. So here we go. Let's see what happens. But, yeah, it's valid concerns, though. Number 11. Now that Steven, the churri in your list, is out of the way, who do you have at number 11?
So at number 11, I have retired for hazy IPA law, also known as KMA. I guess he changed his name there. So, yeah, I have him up here. I have him above Steven just basically because he does have well, I mean, until 5 minutes before kickoff, CMC was fine. Turns out he was limited in practice. I don't know if that's just some smoke screen from the 49ers. Just I guess maybe he might be on the injury report all year kind of deal.
Yeah.
Or if it's something to be concerned. But the difference is that he does have CMC and King Henry. Very, very stable pieces on his roster. I know he has a bunch of wide receivers. I do like the fact that he reached on Matthew Golden. I think that's going to pay dividends towards the end. So, I don't love the team. I'm not crazy about it, but there is a scenario I think where we are wrong about Marvin Harrison Jr. Maybe he does turn it around this year. Fantasy wise, he wasn't great, but as an NFL player, he did have a pretty, average or above average rookie season. So it's not like he's a complete bust. Mm-hmm. And, I don't like Chris Olave, but maybe he's on a bad offense. They have to throw all the time. Maybe he puts up some PPR points. So not the best of teams, but, he does have those two foundational pieces, and that's why I have him above Steven.
Okay, perfect. I like the analysis. It makes a lot of sense. So, obviously, I had KMA lower, but how much more lower can you get? It's between Steven and him. They're really close. So, here we go. On to the next guy that you have on your list. Talk to me about number 10.
All right, so number 10. Sorry, Pedro, but it's gonna have to be you, man. El Churre.
Okay.
I have here in my notes that if we were doing a draft grade, man, I think you knocked it out of the park. I'll be honest with you. I think your only misstep that I don't agree with was Jacoby Myers, just because the news had come out about a contract dispute. They got some rookies in the wide receiver room now for them. So, could that lead to some problems? Sure, but overall, I think your draft was really well. It went really well. But you just don't have a lot of like the players that can maybe win, like that superstar. Mm-hmm. That's going to win you that week. But yeah, man, overall, I think that you do have pieces that can hit. I'm a big fan of Kenneth Walker and that offense this year. I think Drake May, he could be that bridge between like the top 4 or 5 quarterbacks. Like he's probably going to be part of that next group, maybe like that Bo Nix kind of era, maybe a little bit after him, because he has that rushing upside. And man, I think your receivers are great. You got McConkey, Worthy. I think Pickens was a great pick. Let's see if he does maybe anything now. Looks like they just kicked a field goal. So, looks like a high scoring game. So maybe he scores in the second half. But yeah, overall, I think you have
George Pickens did have I think like a 30 or 40-yard play called because of pass interference, but it is what it is. You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, he usually makes that catch, but yeah, it's like a 50-50 ball. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I have you at number 10.
Alrighty, number 10. I am not mad at it because I graded myself pretty much there anyways. Number 9. Oh, we have we're gonna show it on the stream there so you can see it. Armando swears he's so smart. Oh, look at me. I'm wearing glasses, so I'm smarter than you. By Mr. Steven.
That's right, man. You take an IQ test, and if you score above a certain grade, they give you these for life.
I like it. So, number 9. Where are we at?
So, number 9, I have Los Cookies.
Oh,
with his famous Philadelphia Eagles stack. Right now, Jalen Hurts is carrying the team. He's got 20 points. But my notes on his team is just way too many Commanders. I get the idea of maybe going late tight end with Zach Ertz. He did take Scary Terry, but now you have Scary Terry, Ertz, Eckler, and then Chris Rodriguez. If I'm the manager of this team, I think like pick either one and just, the one that you like the most and maybe pick somebody else. One player I do love that I feel like doesn't get talked about enough is Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
I think this guy is going to eat this year. He's still a really young player. He's 27 in the prime of his career. The problem is that he's been in the league so long and he's been on such a bad team for so long that it just seems like a boring pick. But looks like the Packers are all in. They traded for Micah Parsons. And I think the offense is going to go through Josh Jacobs, and his backup is hurt. So,
yeah.
I mean, overall, I think it's a good team, but, you know, I do like the Philadelphia Eagles stack just because I don't think they're going to run the ball as much. But, I mean, if it just hurts running, then I guess that kind of, you know, pops the balloon on that idea.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just too many commanders. That's really my biggest gripe with this team.
Alrighty, so Los Cookies, number 9. So right on the edge of making it to the playoffs, if the playoff were to start in your mind, number 8. Who is this guy?
My guy for number 8, I think, is going to shock a lot of people, and it's our former champion, Ralph, with Auto Draft.
Wow. Talk to me about
it. I have here Fall from Grace. So my notes here are basically that him taking those keepers in the first 3 rounds really hurt him, especially when you have 2 players coming from the Atlanta Falcons. I think that if I want to invest into 2 players of an offense, they need to be at least, you know, like top 5, top 10 offenses. Vegas right now has the Atlanta Falcons projected as the 20th scoring team. So, you know, I feel like paying the price for Drake London in that 3rd round is going to hurt him a little bit because I think he could have just gone T. Higgins. In the 10th, I think they're basically the same player when it comes right down to it. And basically, it's either Bijan, Puka, and London or bust.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, Dak Prescott is not the same player physically I think that he used to be. He can't run as much as he used to. DeAndre Swift, I mean, you know, how many times do we have to see it? He gets Ben Johnson again, who got rid of him when he was in Detroit. So how much do they really love Swift? Sam Laporta, I really don't like this pick at tight end. When Laporta was a rookie, everybody was like, oh, Sam Laporta is so great, this and that, coming into the next offseason, which was last year. And the biggest knock on his game was that he was touchdown dependent.
Mm-hmm.
So now comes the following year, which is this year, right? He did okay last year. He didn't do too bad. But now they lose their offensive coordinator. So you would suspect that the touchdowns would go down. So I just really don't like this pick. I don't really see the upside. And then you have Michael Pittman and David Montgomery. I really don't see that. The next team I have, I think, has a better overall team and a little bit more upside. So I have Auto Draft. Ralph, I'm sorry, former champ, but I got you a number 8, man.
Yeah, just out of the playoffs. Oh, I'm sure that he can make a few different moves, actually trade with somebody that's not Danny. Maybe we could get him into the playoffs in your head. But you know what? We're moving on. At number 7, just made it into the game, the big dance. What do you think about number 7? Who is this guy?
So number 7, I have the Shark.
Okay.
I think he's got a great team. He basically has, I mean, you could make the argument he has 3 first-rounders on his team with Saquon, St. Brown, and Neighbors. Contrary to Laporta, I love that he went with Tyler Warren. At least you have some unknown, some upside, an offense that's looking for somebody to contribute right away. They're going to look for him. We saw it in the preseason that they were scheming him up. I'm not a big fan of RJ Harvey, but I don't mind the stab here at a player like this. And you know, Cooper Kupp, I'm not a fan of, and Cedric Tillman, I think could be good. I think he's a good X receiver, especially with a quarterback like Joe Flacco. I think he likes to push the ball, whether good or bad. Sort of like Jameis.
Yeah.
So basically for him, I have that he just has great foundational pieces, you know, and has a little bit more upside.
All right, perfect. Well, we do have a message from the crowd. Of course,
All right.
our favorite one of our favorite guys, Steven Lopez. There we go. The Eagles aren't going to run that much. They have 3 rushing touchdowns already. Somebody please shut this clown up. And of course, he had to come up with another one. Of course, Armando has himself as a playoff team. This guy is delusional. I do not agree with Steven's opinion, but we gotta let him have his day.
So many feelings hurt in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Steven. I'm sorry I put you last, man, but that's unfortunately where you belong.
All righty. So we are moving on. Number 6. Playoffs. These guys
All
in.
right. So number 6, I have myself.
All right. Danger zone. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, so I think right now we're starting to get to the teams that I think have the best quarterbacks. I feel like Nico Collins, I've thought it since last year. I think he could be the wide receiver 1. I think he could definitely get to that upper tier. I have McBride. I feel like my running back situation is pretty solid. It's not the best. And honestly, I think Egbuka for me, I think, he could catch 100 passes this year with just an aging Mike Evans. Jalen McMillan, they said, I think is going to be back to like week 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there. And Chris Godwin, I mean, when the season started, when KMA chose Chris Godwin in the draft, the reports had been that he wasn't even running on the sidelines yet.
Wow.
So, I think it's a desperate times over there in Tampa Bay as far as who's going to be the producer. And my flexes, I feel like are, dart throws, not too strong. Some question marks for sure. But yeah, overall, I think I have good foundational pieces and I have some upside here, but not like the other teams. I think there's some really, really stacked teams at the top.
All righty. Speaking about those stacked teams, who's the next guy at number 5?
So the next guy I have Nickelodeon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon. Talk to me about Nick.
All right, so I've already done a couple of drafts with Nick, and I gotta say, man, Nick is a really, really good drafter. So kudos to him. He's been doing his homework for sure. Not taking tips from Steven, I think is a good thing. Just go your own way, man. I think you got this figured out. My only gripe with his team is Baker Mayfield. I think people are overpricing Baker Mayfield. He had a really great year last year. But it was his best year. He ran the most he's ever run before, and now he lost his offensive coordinator, and he's got less weapons. I think Kate Otten might not even play. So I feel like his upside is real limited. But James Cook is great offense. He's going to score touchdowns for sure. I'm not a big fan of Chuba, but he seems to be the starting back over there. Has a pretty defined role, so I like the pick. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb's already going crazy. More to come. Tyreek Hill's a weird one because imagine CeeDee Lamb and Tyreek Hill, I think, could go to the moon. But if there were 2 teams I could pick in the NFL that are very close to imploding, it's these 2 teams. The Cowboys and the Dolphins.
Wow.
I like his tight end. And, I feel like his flex is okay. I think out of all the running backs in Jacksonville, I think Trevor Etienne is probably the worst, in my opinion, just because he's the oldest. So he has he has the highest probability of getting pushed to the side. And Jameson Williams, I'm not a big fan of just because I'm not really sure how I think the OC change hurts him the most. Him and Laporta, because they're usually the schemed up guys. Let's see if this guy that comes in has the same kind of knack for getting them open.
Yeah, those Lions players, I understand. All right. Well, on to the next one. Now we're getting to really high up there. Who do we have next?
Yeah, so once you get up here, I feel like it's really tough to kind of pull these teams apart. I'm going to go with Alfredo.
Okay, run it back. 15-1.
Yeah, previously known as the Dream Team.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think it's really hard to to rank him any lower for me. I mean, he's got the quarterback 2, the wide receiver 1, and he had a running back that he ended up finishing as RB13 in PPR. And for the better part of the year, he wasn't even playing half the time, I think. He really didn't take off towards the end. So it's hard to rank him any lower. He does have, I feel like, questions at RB2 and wide receiver 2. I really hate that Garrett Wilson pick. I am not in on Garrett Wilson this year. It's nothing against him as a talent. I think he's great. But I don't see how this New York Jets offense, who ran the ball like 15 times out of the 20 preseason plays that they ran, I don't see how Garrett Wilson's going to do good. And the reason I have him this much higher, even though he does have those question marks, his flexes I think are incredible. And Calvin Ridley and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
So he might have a question RB2, but he's got Braylon Allen, he's got JCM, so he's got some people that might come out as better plays, and people are going to get hurt. So I feel like that RB2 position for me personally can always kind of be floating, like a question mark. Like it can always be interchanged. So yeah, I have Sauce at number 4.
All righty. Now we do have to get back to the guys that are deciding to make some comments.
All right. Wow,
Steven.
Same guy, bro. Is this guy paying every time he sends one of these? He should.
If he should, I'm telling you, I think that we actually make some bread out here.
That's from the same guy that says that Mahomes is going to be great this year, but Worthy's going to suck.
The same exact guy.
The same guy, bro. This is why you're on a 2D platform.
There you go. Now, of course, now we have a Guru League podcast. We have Franklin deciding something about a phone alarm. Here we go. And again, something about a smoke alarm. I don't know. Oh, and we have somebody that's
alarm.
not.
Yeah, it was an iPhone alarm.
No, the iPhone alarm. There you go. And then we do have somebody here telling me about the Jacob Andrew. With the CMC news, I'm considering trading. I got an offer where I can send Kyler Murray, CMC, Sutton for Drake May, A-Chain, and Devontae Adams. Should I pull the trigger on this?
Oh, man, can you pull it back up?
Yeah, of course. What do you think, Armando?
I mean, I'm a big fan of A-Chan. I think he can do really great this year. I think Kyler Murray and Drake May is like a wash.
Yeah.
Sutton probably a little bit higher for me than Adams, but I don't know, man. I wouldn't get scared away from one news from CMC if you bought into it this year. I personally didn't, but I feel like if you're already here, I think one Wednesday practice or one Thursday practice shouldn't scare you off to now change the whole deal.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I wouldn't make that trade. CMC is a top talent. The guy could win you a league, and you're trading for guys that, they're just there.
Hey, but thanks for the question, man. That was real cool.
Yeah, it was a good question. I like it. Let's move on. Now we have the creme de la creme. We're at the top 3 spots. What do you have at number 3?
Number 3 is going to be the rookie, Batman.
Oh, the Batman. I think he changed his name to the rookie. There we go.
Yeah.
Tell me about his team.
This team really has very few holes. I'm not a big Kelsey fan. That's my biggest nitpick. But I'm a huge fan of A-Chan. I think if Jonathan Taylor stays healthy, he could have a great year. I think that's been his biggest detriment. And that's why people are maybe low on him. And obviously he doesn't catch the ball as much out, Indy for PPR reasons. But as a just running back in the NFL, he's up there, as one of the best. T. Higgins with the stack of Joe Burrow, I think is beautiful. The defense out there looks putrid. They gave up 42 points in the preseason. Devontae Smith hasn't really come through this game, but I think he's a solid piece on a great offense. Kind of the same deal with Zay Flowers and right now Aaron Jones, he's a little bit older, but he's the RB1 over there. So I think this is a really solid team. His bench, not that great. But no, I don't think too many people have a really great bench. So starters, I think he's killing it, man. First year, I think this is a great team, great starting point for him.
Alrighty, especially his first year in the league, man. This guy is set up to win it all. All right, then. Now we have the top two teams, which the team that you choose at number 2 is going to be mad because you chose them at number 2. So make your decision wisely, sir. At number 2, who do you have?
At number 2, for me, I set a draft day when we left, halfway through the draft, the podcast after the draft. I'm going ahead of myself, but number 1 for me is Franklin. But right now, number 2, I got Buzz with Danny.
Wow. So Danny is the guy at number 2.
Yeah, I think, man, he's got a great team, a great quarterback, great running backs, great opportunity. I think BTJ this year is just going to go crazy in the league with Liam Cohen. Now he gets help with Travis Hunter. I don't think they hurt each other. I know that's the narrative that some people want to drive out there. But realistically, they're different players. They operate around the same different areas of the field. So, and I think Liam Cohen's going to do a great job to scheme them up. I have BTJ and a lot of other places. Great keeper that he got there. I think Devontae Adams is a solid pick as long as Stafford's back holds up. He's got Brock Bowers. I mean, there's nothing else to say there. Broke the rookie reception record last year as a tight end. Mike Evans, a stable, piece. And Jaylen Warren, I was kind of like, I don't know what to do with him, honestly, this draft season. But it seems like he's going to be the starter. And, he's got pretty good pieces here on his bench. Devontae Williams is just going crazy right now. So yeah, I think this is definitely, top tier team. This is just that next team. It's just a little bit more.
Here we go. And speaking about that next team, let's find him up here. All right, let's see. Where is he actually? No excuses. Number 1 in your heart and number 1 on your chart, sir. Talk to me about no excuses.
Just the charts. Just the charts.
Go ahead, man.
I hate to say it, man, but I hate it when I said it that day, but it's just, this team is so just like well constructed from top to bottom. I think Jahmyr Gibbs comes out this year as the RB1 overall. I'm pretty high on Achane, but I just think Gibbs is just a different player than Achane. And I think honestly that once things get bad or do get a little bit more tough as the season goes on and there's more tape on the teams, I think they're just going to turn more over to Jahmyr Gibbs. They're not going to give David Montgomery more touches. Chase Brown is going to play full time now from the start. Last year I don't think he got going to like week 8 or 9, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. So now we get a full dose of Chase Brown. Great offense, terrible defense. Justin Jefferson, I mean, this guy's the epitome of greatness. Just every year, just does it over and over again, no matter who's throwing the ball. He's got a new quarterback this year. I don't think he's going to be like a CeeDee Lamb or Jamar Chase, but he's definitely going to be a stable piece. There's no doubt about it. Ricky Pearsall with Purdy, I think is a great stack. The only thing is that they do have the easiest schedule in the NFL according to the rankings. So, teams lend to the run a little bit more when they're ahead and stuff. So, but either way, it's a great offense, great coach. I don't mind the Njoku pick. That who knows what happens in Cleveland. The only thing is we don't know maybe what happens towards the end if they give one of the other guys a chance and bench Joe Flacco. Kamara, I've never been a Kamara fan. I've never had the luxury of having him. I know he's a good fantasy player. But I mean, who else is there? And this guy just soaks in volume. Very similar to Kyron Williams. I think Kamara's better than Kyron Williams, but he's on a worse offense, Kamara. And I think Kellen Moore is just going to scheme him up, and it's just going to be PPR heaven. And I love the upside of Travis Hunter. I mean, I've been on Travis Hunter since he got drafted. I think he went to a great place. I think the narrative of him was if he was going to play defense or offense. They didn't draft this guy, what was it, number 2, number 3, to play cornerback. They drafted him to score touchdowns and to be the difference in the game. So, yeah, man, this team I think is just, and the projections say that as well. He's the highest projected team by a good margin, and it's no coincidence, man.
Yeah, so no excuses. Number 1 on the power rankings, week 1. We're in the middle of a football game, and I can't just look at his team up and down. He looks awesome, bro. But you know what? I said the same thing. You and me agree on a few guys. We disagree on a couple. But at the end of the day, I am happy that you came here, Armando, to speak your piece about these teams. Thank you, sir.
For sure, man. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Awesome, guys. So everybody saw Armando's power rankings. Please comment, like, subscribe. Tell me what you think. And at the end of the day, we need to see what will happen. Because right now there are teams playing. And we will see what happens at the end of week 1. We're going to continue doing power rankings and see what happens. All right, guys. Until next time.